Testing. Okay, hello to anybody who's there. If you could just sign in, say hello. Stephen Francis, no sound. Okay, is there sound now? Testing. Is there sound now? I've just changed the microphone settings. Okay, hello to anybody. So if you could let me know, please, as quickly as you can. That way I can get going. So could someone please reply? Thank you very much, Henry. And Kevin and Scott, not for Scott. Okay, very quiet. I've just changed the microphone settings. Right, I'm not sure how I can increase the volume. Let me know, please. Try that. And hopefully we're up and running. Someone please reply. Thank you very much. Turn up the volume. And Kevin and Scott. Okay, just done it there. Gordon. And I'll put the microphone a bit nearer to me as well. Hi Chris. Is everything okay there with you, Gordon? Hopefully we're up and running. And everybody else, I've turned up the volume, and I'll just get rid of this volume here. So is everything okay with you as far as what you can see? Thank you very much, Stephen. And here, that's great. So I'll presume that's all okay. Got a direct message as well. So I'll keep this one up and running if there is any DM. No sound on the live chat. Hopefully it's fixed now, Bosun. Hopefully fixed now, and then we can get cracking on what is a busy Saturday. Man United getting the important win earlier on, minus Rasmus Højlund. Still quiet. Okay. The problem I have, Paul, is my USB is a very unique one for this Yeti, and it's on its last legs. Still the mic is a little quiet. So hopefully, let me just tinker about. Then I've got to get the scores and all that up. So still quiet for Paul. So let me just get this speakers microphone Yeti. Try to stick that up a little bit and put that one up a little bit as well. So hope that will help you out as far as listening to me is concerned. So I'll keep it at that, and if you do have any problems, please do let me know straight away. So I hope the volume's up. I'll turn this volume up as well in case that's an important element for the microphone. So hopefully that's that, and we can just start preparing for today as best as we can. Just going to get Football 24 up. Got CSKA Sofia Derby, which had a red card to one of the sides. If you picked that out, well done. Football 24. As you can see, the Bundesliga got Leipzig opening goal. No surprise there. The two Man United goals today, penalties. So very disappointing for this Everton side. And our FC Köln have scored first against Mönchengladbach, as you can see there. That is potentially an important match because Köln tend to win very sporadically, if at all, this season. So I think we might have a chance here. But let me just get Football 24. Got to get rid of a number of the leagues we're not using. That way I won't be alerted to matches that I've not got a realistic interest in. As you can hear, the dings are coming in, so I'll just keep that up at the moment. But Football 24, when you've got the mobile app, there is settings where you can remove all leagues and add as many leagues as you want as well. So I think it's important on this Saturday. It's so busy. Let's just maintain a focus on the leagues that we're interested in, so I don't have to look over to one side if a goal has come in in a league match I've got no great interest in. So I hope you can still hear me okay on the microphone. I'm up to ends now, working my way up. We've got all the major leagues at the top, so you can hear the goals are popping in. So FC Köln would be your first match of interest, so do get that up and ready. FC Köln, only 2, 3 or 4 wins all season, I believe. Desperate need for points as well. Have had a lot of draws recently. Got some Irish football today as well. The season's too early for me to research at the moment, but it's one of our important summer leagues. Okay, I'm up to G, working my way up, and then we've got to do everything again at Soccer 24. So I'm up to French National, Finnish League Cup, and one of my neighbours is having a party today, good for him. So just the English Championship, League 1, League 2 today, out of the English leagues of interest. Up to Croatia now. Chinese football has been and gone, so we're coming to the end of the road. Get rid of all this Brazilian footy, there's a lot of it about. And we've got the equaliser far too quickly for Mönchengladbach. I hope you played, or is it a big chance missed? You saw that red dot come up on Football 24, so that might be something we need to head off to. Certainly you can head off there yourself. Have a look at the research as well. What did I say about the Mönchengladbach Köln match? Was there any strong statistical pattern for us to look at? Do also use the deep dive spreadsheet which I've left for you in the research section of footballtradingprofits.club, and that website will be ending soon. Footballtradingprofits.club, I don't think it offers us any great benefits above and beyond what I can offer you elsewhere. So you've already got that idea with Köln. Mönchengladbach goal disallowed. Cagliari already 2-0 up against Salernitana, so that's no great surprise either. Thank you very much, Bosun, for confirming that, and thank you very much, March Meadow, and everybody else. I'm glad the mic's okay now. It just takes a little bit of a working at to make sure it's the correct settings. So Mönchengladbach and Köln, quickest way we can get the research here. Go to the deep dive spreadsheet for the 9th of March. Bring that one up. Basically, it's taking the research through a number of filters for you, and it just makes things a lot easier for you to maintain a focus. So we've got the Mönchengladbach Köln match here. 12 out of 17 goals conceded at home have come second half for Mönchengladbach. Well, they've conceded first half on this occasion. Köln are unbeaten in 3 away. Both teams have scored in the last 3 away. 7 consecutive under 2.5 goal matches away. So that's their modus operandi for Köln. Very strong defensively. Mönchengladbach are unbeaten at home against 11th and lower. Köln are unbeaten in the 3 away. 7 consecutive under 2.5 goal matches. So I think the only way to trust Mönchengladbach would be to look at their in-place stats initially. And already having a goal disallowed, I would be keen, I think, personally, to want to have a play in there. So let me just get that sorted out. So that's a CSKA Sofia match. Local derby with a red card involved. So I've just done a small +1 on, I think it's CSKA Sofia. So we're going to Mönchengladbach against FC Köln, as ever. Because of the under 2.5 goal pattern for Mönchengladbach, for FC Köln, you're going to have to cover that 0-1 scoreline. And we're just going to investigate the +1 for Mönchengladbach. Are the odds big enough for us to get involved in just in the +1? I would say it's about 1.6, 1.7. How accurate am I? Well, 1.7 is about right. Bayern Munich have scored first against Mainz, which isn't what we wanted really, pre-post Champions League. Bayern without a manager could have done with Mainz scoring first, because where is that second goal for Mainz? We never see it, or at least we haven't seen it in 13 or 14 matches now. They even conceded after scoring first last match. So Mönchengladbach and FC Köln would be my potentially first play of the day on Telegram. So let me pass that on. Just want to confirm the amount of wins for FC Köln. You'll find that in the research section. Have a quick look. Only 3 wins all season for Köln. So that tells its own story, doesn't it? Oops. So that tells its own story for FC Köln. So let me get Telegram. And we're just going to pass this one on. Don't forget, it's that stage of the season, isn't it, for likes of FC Köln and a number of others, particularly in the lower tiers in England. They're digging out those wins, aren't they, importantly. Live stream is on at YouTube now. You've got the details above if you want to join in. The first potential play, Mönchengladbach 0, FC Köln 1. Köln have only had 3 or 4 wins all season, so automatically gettable on that basis. But they've got a strong under 2.5 goal trade pattern. So we've got to lay over 1.5 goals to cover that 0-1. And I've just stopped off at the Mönchengladbach +1 market. It might be a little skinny for you, in which case you go match odds, half stake, Mönchengladbach back. Half stake is liability, lay Köln. You could also do both teams to score no, but that's something for the live stream rather than Telegram. As I alluded to, both teams to score no might be useful here, and on that basis I can take you through. It's worth practicing both teams to score no. So one of John H's great ideas. It's best used for an early goal for an underdog, as we've got in this case. So we should see decent odds for both teams to score no. Should be up at 10s. Oh, that's very skinny indeed. That is a positive as far as if you want to take on FC Köln. So we can try it out, experiment. Now don't forget, when you're using both teams to score no, you're looking to win the amount of profit or stake you want to use elsewhere. So in this case £40, and if you've got Fairbot, it will do all the calculating for you by ticking on the profit box here. So that's cost a lot of money. 1-2 as well I would cover, and then you can go straight into the match odds market. 1-2 at 8.2 should cost about £5 or thereabouts. So let's see, my Carol Vorderman maths is right here. There we go. So you've got a total, both teams to score no. It's about £15. So you can go straight into the match odds now. You've got 0-1 covered, 0-2 covered, you've got 1-2 covered. You go straight into the match odds. Half stake to back Mönchengladbach. Half stake is liability to lay FC Köln. Now the negative with this is you must clear £15 already to get break even. You're not going to get that if you get an early equaliser. I don't think you'll see 15, so you have to really hold out for the win or take what would be a total £20 loss, aiming for the bigger return. It's very, very early in the match. Of course, that opens the door up to a half-time play as well, if you're not too confident about these sides. So I'm glad everything's okay sound-wise. So I can just clear that up. Let's have a look. Sheriff Tiraspol played earlier on, that equaliser. Valencia and Getafe, well, good stuff from Getafe, but they're running out of time. 5 shots on 7 off and 5 corners. It will be a good win for Valencia in aiming for a top 6 berth or a European place at least. You can see the early red card for CSK in 1948 Sofia. In play stats pretty good for CSK Sofia. If you wanted to lay the late draw, it's a little high so late in the match, so I would look for 1.25 odds. I was going to do that. 1 shot on 2 off and 1 corner. Good enough reaction from Mönchengladbach. We're playing the fact that Köln rarely win. Simple as that. Lokomotiv Zagreb been in decent nick this season, particularly post winter break in Croatia. A couple of wins, consecutive wins one in the cup and one against Slaven Bulupu. So be looking on for a potential lay the draw second half there, particularly with Rudez. Don't tend to pick up draws, do they? So those be the first matches of interest. Kortrijk against Antwerp is interesting, particularly at this stage of the season. Both sides desperate need of points for different reasons, of course. We're going to see that a lot, particularly in the 3 o'clocks in the lower tiers in England. We've got to be so prepared for those matches. As you can see, they're coming up in about 12 minutes time. And with that in mind, just going to collect my odds on favourites. Bournemouth, very, very strong odds on today. Sheffield United look relegated. They're 7 points shy of second bottom. Let's not talk about getting out of the bottom 3. Arsenal, Brentford, it's pre-Champions League. It's a London derby, but they have been scoring 3 or 4 goals for fun, this Arsenal side. And they've got the importance of the title, particularly with Manchester City playing Liverpool. So Arsenal, the onus is on them to get the win today against Brentford. Put the pressure on those two, because one of them is going to drop points, or a point or 2. Augsburg, odds on favourite today. Looks like Mönchengladbach are up for it against Mainz. We could have really done with Mainz scoring first, couldn't we? Particularly with the failure to score that second goal. Leipzig, well, they're already leading, so no surprises for the big guns today. Dortmund a little bit later against Werder Bremen. Potential banana skin here for Dortmund, with Werder Bremen in good form and Dortmund pre-Champions League and away from home. Shamrock Rovers, Favs against Sligo a bit later on this evening. Cork City as well, the usual short price Favs in the respective divisions. Already a 2-0 lead for Cagliari. I can't see Salernitana with 2 goals in them, I'm afraid. A bit like Darmstadt and Sheffield United, they're pretty much done, Salernitana now. This is all playing for next season. Bologna have drifted from odds on favourite earlier on. Inter Milan. These two are involved in Europe next week. Both coming into this in excellent form, which is the reason for the drifting odds for Inter Milan. And another pre-Champions League side away from home. 20 were in very good form last weekend. At similar odds, should do the business today against Sparta Rotterdam. Valencia already a goal up against Getafe. Atletico Madrid 1.75 favourites. Real Sociedad, both Champions League sides. And Girona should get back to winning ways against Osasuna. Second in the league, Girona, on the back of a couple of defeats recently. Real Valladolid in La Liga 2. Switzerland Challenge League. FC Thun, just give them an interest. Odds on favourites. Trabzonspor, the only odds on Favs in the Turkish Super League. We haven't got any goals coming in, so you're not missing anything. So just working our way down. Pick up our odds on favourites here. That's a good way to get yourself a trading angle. Odds on earlier on, lastly, Salzburg. Admira, this is a 2-leaguer. I'm not going to go any lower than that. So we'll move to the Jupiler League now. Anderlecht odds on favourites against newly promoted Molenbeek. And Antwerp odds on as well against Kortrijk today. I have tried to point out to you all of the sides involved in European club competition this weekend, because it's a unique weekend. And Augsburg has scored first against Heidenheim. That could be interesting. That Heidenheim scoring last week, been in excellent form bar that loss to Leverkusen. So Heidenheim might have a say in this particular match. Augsburg is certainly not a strong favourite today. Really excellent recent season for Heidenheim. Croatian HLN1 League, Lokomotiv Zagreb should be their usual odds on favourite. Hajduk split as well, and that's as far as I go in Croatia. Czech Republic, well, we're just going to deal with the 1 league. So Slovaku, Slovan Liberec, your usual odds on favourites. Hraki Kralova and Baník Ostrava, very familiar names. Move our way down to Denmark, probably next. Danish First Division, Sonderskij, and we don't have the Danish Super League today, I don't think, unless it appears earlier on. English Championship, this is where we need to collect our odds on favourites, so we get a fair indicator of which teams we should focus on. You should be getting quite familiar with these teams by now, because we deal with them every week. So regardless of whether they're odds on or not, we're still going to have an interest in the vast majority of these matches, depending on what happens in play, of course. But just collect our odds ons initially. And a good thing about something like the In-Play Guru is you'll have the league positions in brackets, which are vital at this stage of the season. 4th against 11th, you can see immediately matches to hone in on. Millwall and Birmingham's relegation 6-pointer, for example. Preston and Stoke, points needed for different reasons. Promotion, playoff, or to avoid relegation. Similar story, Norwich against Rotherham. Rotherham, like Darmstadt, like Salernitana, and realistically, they are down, done and dusted. So you won't be seeing, shouldn't be seeing any fight from Rotherham anywhere till the end of the season. I don't think they'll be staying up at all. They need miracles. Got a lot of odds on favourites in English League 2 today, quite a few. Number at home as well. Familiar names, of course, the usual crew: Mansfield, Bradford City, Barrow, Stockport County, the usual crew. I'm not going to go any lower than those leagues. In England, France would be next. No, finished.
This market has been suspended.
No, that's not starting just yet. French League 1. No odds on favourites there today. French League 2. Bordeaux.
This market has been suspended.
Are the only odds on favourites there. So let's have a look at the Bundesliga 2. Magdeburg. Odds on a bit later on at 7:30. So that must be an important match, and that's CSKA Sofia taking advantage of the red card and nabbing that victory. I only went to the +1 market there, given it was a derby style match, but we got the result. It's a lack of liquidity though. We'll have to check up on Mönchengladbach, see whether they're reacted well to conceding first. Don't forget Köln, desperate need for points. Liga HL today. Any of our big guns out? Well, Netanya, no beer today. Serie B, Pisa, the only odds on favourites, and looks like Modena getting done late on against Ferral Pesaro. That's Admira Wacker scoring first against Dornbirn in the Austrian First Division.
Goal.
So we're not missing anything.
CSKA 1948 Sofia is 1-2.
That's the whole point of these odds on favourites. So no Norwegians just yet. They'll be returning very soon. It's a Super Cup at the moment. I would be ignoring that. These are pipe openers for the new season. Rakow, champions last season, I believe. Favourite today. And Portuguese Primeira Liga. Braga normally have goals in them, and Victoria Guimarães odds on favourites as well. I would normally go just down to the second tier. Nacional Académico Viseu 1-1 at half time might be worthy of your investigation using soccerstats.com. A draw for an odds on favourite at home. Have they been drawing regularly this season, Nacional? Have they been scoring vast majority of their goals second half? That's what you want to be looking at for that particular match. Romania, not interested, and I don't think Russia's covered. Scottish Championship might go down as low as that, but the Scottish First Division and League 1 and League 2 illiquid, I'm afraid. So there's nothing much we can gain following that. Looks like Aberdeen getting the win for Neil Warnock today. Or was it today or recently against Kilmarnock in the Cup? He's still not got them winning consistently yet, Neil Warnock. I'm sure it will come. If he can bring some English players in to the Aberdeen side, they might have an improved season. Swiss Super League and the Swedish Cup. No, that's the ladies. Zurich, newly promoted Iverdon, should be gettable. And Turkish Super League will probably, or the One League, our old pals Ayopspor, Turkish Yorkshiremen, playing Coram today. Managed, I think, today by Jeffrey Boycott and Michael Parkinson, the Turkish Yorkshiremen today. So I wonder what kind of tactics they're going to employ. Nora Batty on the left wing. Compo and Clegg as a midfield dynamo. And I'll stick the other bloke with that Rusty Bath in goal. So that's our My Games facility. These are all odds on favourites. Hopefully I'll be able to hear them as they come in. All being well. That's the whole point of doing that exercise. You get this come up and you get a noise whenever there's a goal. So let's have a look at our starred matches. We can get rid of this one. That's how you want to take on the red card. Very little value to be had though. I went +1. I could have gone match odds and I would have been rewarded with the match odds. Okay. Lokomotiv Zagreb. Is that the Mönchengladbach equaliser? Well, I'm hoping it is. It's not very good stats though for Mönchengladbach. It looks a very tight match. They're not your ultra strong favourite, are they? But you're only taking on Köln because they've just had the 3 wins all season. No defeat and 2 at home. Mönchengladbach are unbeaten at home against 11th and lower, so that's a positive. Only 3 wins all season for Köln. So they do score draw. They've scored in their last 3 matches. That's the Sofia match ending, so that's where you heard that. Suspend. Okay. So 3 o'clocks. We've got to be prepared and keep an eye on the odds on favourites, etc. Let's get rid of some of these. Any other obvious matches? Well, Saints, of course, against Sunderland. This is your relegation 6 pointers. I'll be targeting the draws with these 17th against 16th, that kind of thing, because a point is pointless at this stage of the season when you're in this kind of bother and you're playing one of your local rivals for survival. Another match, for example, 2nd against 16th, you're looking for automatic promotion, trying to get out of the relegation zone or keep that gap. Exeter, I think, have done an excellent job already in staying above that relegation zone. They were as high as 13th. Stevenage and Fleetwood is a kind of match you'd be looking at as well. Both teams desperate need for points for different reasons. And here come the goals. As you can hear there, that's an odds-on favourite goal. That's the Modena Ferro-Pesaro. Also, Mainz have got a goal against Bayern, but I would have preferred Mainz to score first for rather obvious reasons. Where's that second goal for Mainz? Don't see it, do you? Wonder if Sir Harold of Kane has got on the score sheet. Goretzka, yeah, he has. Been having a pretty poor season under Thomas Tuchel. So let's collect some of our other obvious need for points matches. 7th against 21st, you're just on the cusp of promotion or automatic promotion place. 22nd against 20th, these are the ideal ones. You've got to target your near market rival for take 3 points off them. Condemn them. Take 3 points off them. Give yourself a chance of survival. Dog eat dog. 24th against 21st as well. 6th against 22nd. And don't dismiss these outsiders because they have produced a lot of wins. And there's that Mönchengladbach equaliser. Excellent stuff. It's come nice and early. So if you did get involved in the match odds, you can start picking up your profits now. As I was alluding to, you'll only be making £2 if you've gone both teams to score, because that's a big £15 liability for this insurance. Compare that to laying over 1.5 goals at 1.11, and you know where you'd prefer to look after your liability.
Goal. Borussia and Gladbach Cologne is 1-1.
That's good. You could have gone match odds market as well, don't forget that. I've only gone to the +1 market. So I've lost £4. So I can come out of here with a net £8 profit. And as I say, you're going to pick up bigger rewards in other matches. If you want to just collect green, if you're starting out as a trader, collect your greens. This £8, that's 8% of 100 if you're aiming for £100 profit. Otherwise, stay in and see if they can get that second goal. But then you're entering the world of gambling as well. Don't forget trading. We're after just an odds movement. That's all we're after. And that's all we want to be backing up there, ideally, laying there. Back there, lay there. And as ever, if you do green up now, whatever happens after this, who cares? That's the advantage of greening up. But do weigh up how long's left, weigh up Köln's record, weigh up the fact that Mönchengladbach are unbeaten in XYZ matches at home. This is why I do the research for you. Weigh this up as you go along. So let's remind ourselves. No defeat in 2 at home. Unbeaten at home against 11th and lower. 3-1 win last head, or 3-1 loss last head-to-head. Wow, that's interesting. But only 3 wins all season for Köln is what I'm really banking on. That would be the absolute ideal, of course. So we've had Morecambe against Wrexham. That's not an odds-on favourite. Yes, it is. So we've got to check that one out. Who scored first? Did the odds-on favourite score first? No, the underdog scored first. So now we've got a potential play. Got to remember the league because I don't remember it for these lower tiers. It's League 2. Morecambe against Wrexham. So let me just get this up on the watch list. I'm not going to play straight away. I don't know these teams that well. So Morecambe against Wrexham. Where are they? There we go. Morecambe against Wrexham. So we're just going to look at the in-play stats here initially. So we'll have that on the watch list. Morecambe and Wrexham, which will be here. So having a look at the league positions, it's 8th against 3rd. So definitely Wrexham want to look for that automatic promotion, don't they, in English League 2. We know that Mansfield are favourite. So let's go to the Wrexham Morecambe match. Look at the live standings. You'll be using this a lot coming to the end of the season. This tells you where teams are as the current scoreline is, if that makes sense. So for example, Wrexham move into 3rd spot. Sorry, they don't. They stay in 3rd spot. If they can get an equaliser, well, they'll be moving in or trying to cement an automatic promotion spot. They've got Crewe, MK Dons breathing down their necks for that precious. And it's quite generous. 3 spots for automatic promotion. Very generous. Morecambe entering into the automatic playoff places semi-finals with the current win. So finely poised. At this stage of the season, you can't automatically say that Wrexham will get an equaliser because motivation is absolutely huge, isn't it, to stay or to get into that automatic promotion place or that promotion playoff place. That's what we're looking at from March to April. League positions are absolutely crucial. That's why we're targeting so many of these matches today. Particularly late on. If this is a draw late on, you might as well target them because 3 points desperately required. As you saw with Norwich's match last week, I think it was, or the week before, or midweek. The 1-0 against Sunderland where we laid the draw in that match. So we've got a goal for Blackburn and for Tranmere. One of these is an odds-on favourite match. Blackburn against Plymouth. 1.85 favourite. So we're going to bring Blackburn up. That's the English Championship. They're already on our watch list here. 17th against 16th. So that's not a surprise. What would be a surprise is if this was 0-0 85th minute, with the desperate need for points for these two sides. And you can see the importance now of a win for either of these two. This is what it means to them. The live standings will show. So the key to success for this lot is to stay above Huddersfield. They're only a win away, Huddersfield, from equaling on points. So as you can tell, it's vital that these two nick points off each other as well. They're far too near to the relegation zone for comfort. Dundee United against Arbroath, Scottish Championship. Well, judging by those odds, looks like Dundee getting the win, and Cagliari, job done against Salernitana, who ain't coming back from that. Vitally important as well for Cagliari to get this 3 points, and that's the Swedish Cup. Cagliari shooting up to 13th place. Still not safe though. They're only 3 points above. Take 3 points away, zoom, they'll be back down. A relegation threatened side. So the key, the importance of a win can't be understated here. Similar story for Salernitana, but you see this with Darmstadt, Sheffield United. 7 points just to get to the second bottom. Let's not talk about freedom. So we can get rid of this match, I think. There's no way I can see on Salernitana's season them getting out of jail today. So let's just look at some of our matches of interest. Plenty of goals coming in, but in the FA Trophy and in lower tier league matches. Just a break for a croissant. Important. Part of a football trader's armoury. It's a chocolate croissant from 7-Eleven. It's vital to my success. I can't bloody open it. There we go. Excellent news. I'm just going to get Football 24 back up. So that's Shrewsbury scoring first against Port Vale. I'm sure that's an odds-on favourite match. The Shrews are normally favourite. No, they're not. Okay. So let's have a look through. We've got our equaliser, which is great. Southampton have scored first against Sunderland, which is absolutely no surprise there at all. Köln is 1-1, says March Meadow. Indeed. So that's your first cash out opportunity there. That's the Southampton confirmation of the Southampton goal there. It's no surprise. It's going the way of the market, that one. And we've got Tranmere leading 0-2 in English League 2 against Gillingham. Tranmere against Gillingham. Well, evens, that might get my attention in English League 2, and that's been disallowed. Certainly 0-2 is a better entry point than 0-1, of course, but we'll keep an eye on that because they're only evens. Evens home team could be 0-2 down. Just got to wait for that goal to stick for Tranmere. I think that's confirmation that the goal has been wiped off. Certainly 0-2 I would entertain rather than 0-1. Yeah, it's been wiped off. And Crystal Palace have scored first against Luton Town. New manager, Crystal Palace. So you can't do any research on them, can you? Because all the research is under Roy Hodgson, who I hope is fit and well. Luton Town got some fight in them, but it's this new manager syndrome. It's very difficult to unpack. But Luton Town, both teams do score, but is it going to be 1-0 to 1-1, or is it going to be 2-0 to 2-1?
Port Vale Shrewsbury is 0-1.
Port Vale and the Shrews 0-1. I think we knew that already, but it's taken a while for that to pop up. Again, this is another one, 20th against 22nd in the league. And Bradford have scored first against Accrington Stanley. I don't see a surprise there, and that's confirmation of the Crystal Palace goal. So let's have a look at the Premier League. And Norwich have scored first against Rotherham. That's absolutely no surprise at all. Rotherham down, down, down. QPR against Middlesbrough. Decent nick for QPR. New manager, I think. 3 wins and a draw. Desperate need for points for them. So I'll have to get rid of some of these matches because they're clogging up the watch list. And Salernitana have a goal back. Well, dare we lay Cagliari? Surely it's dead and buried for Salernitana. And there's a Lokomotiv Zagreb goal, 57th minute. I forgot about that. What a pity. It's up here on my watch list. To keep an eye on that. Odds on favourite at home could have laid that draw. So sorry about that. QPR looking good against Middlesbrough. 3 wins and a draw. Middlesbrough sporadic wins. They 3-1 against Norwich was out of left field. Did beat Leicester City away from home as well, so they can put together the odd result, and then they can concede 2 goals in the other 3 matches. QPR on their best run so far of the season, picking up 10 points in the last 4 matches, which got them up to 19th place. So as you can tell, they were in a big spot of bother prior to those 10 points gained. That's Dundee United, 1.18 pre-match, 2-0 up already. No surprise there. So I'll be interested at a QPR opener here. I'll be even interested in a Middlesbrough one, because Middlesbrough might be liable if leading. We'll have to wait and see with Palace. As I say, new manager. Could be anything. It could be a 2-0, 3-0. It could be a Luton win. You just don't know this new manager's tactics, what his major focus is on, etc. Well, it must be on taking points off a near rival for the relegation places. 14th against 18th, a vital wins for Palace. Oh, there was me dismissing Cagliari, 3-0 up, and it's now 3-2 for Salernitana. Oh, why not lay? These are relegation threatened sides. I just didn't think.
Norwich Rotherham is 1-0.
I didn't think they had it in them, I'm afraid. I'm going to take this off the watch list, because you'd have been looking for a Rotherham opener if you wanted a trade. Simple as that. Antwerp looking good against Kortrijk, 4th in the league. Antwerp looking for Champions League places. Salford City scoring first against MK Dons. Not an odds on favourite, or is it? Yeah. I think Salford under new management as well. Let's have a look at pre-match odds. Well, it's MK Dons in English League 2 who are the odds on favourite today. So we're going to get the English League 2 up. Keep an eye on that match. They have been pretty good, Salford, under this new manager, so they're going to be a hard side to discount, really. But MK Dons odds on favourite today. Don't worry if Forest Green score first. They're very gettable if they do score first. Be welcoming that. Bournemouth, 1 shot on 3 off, 11 dangerous attacks to 2. Sheffield United will be aiming for a clean sheet at half time. That's the usual route for Chris Wilder, very one-dimensional, and it's not working. Simple as that. Wolverhampton and Fulham is 2.4 the favourite. Very tough to unpack this one. Two sides very near to each other in the league. That's a Sassuolo goal against Frosinone. I'll get rid of the English Ryman League. It's be too illiquid for us to play. So we get rid of all that. And how's the Bundesliga looking? Well, all the big boys are doing the business. Bayern Munich, Leipzig, easy as you like. Augsburg against Heidenheim. This could be the one to potentially target, as could Hull against Leicester. An opening goal for Hull against Leicester City. So we'll have to break off and have a look, or at least put it on the watch list. So So let's have a look at this. Hull against Leicester, pre-match odds 2.15. So lukewarm Leicester today. No banker material, that's for sure. It's a top 6 clash. That's probably why. You know what top 6 side we'll be wanting. Automatic promotion place. So just get an automatic promotion croissant. Here we go. I don't need to VAR that croissant. That was excellent. Okay. So let's work from the top. So we've got the equaliser. We're just really looking for the cream on top. Looking for that Mönchengladbach second goal. It's a tricky one though, because I'm only really playing, if you're going +1, you're only really playing for the draw to make a profit. So hopefully we'll get to half time at 1-1 and I won't need to cash out then. Stoke City starting brightly, 2 shots on 3 off. Desperate need of points against Preston, who also, for different reasons, need points. QPR, very, very solid start for them against Middlesbrough with home advantage. We did have some odds on favourites. Hradec Kralove would be odds on, I would say, against Pardubice, so no surprises there. Just got to put this back to the My Game so I can listen to the goals coming in. So Crystal Palace have to be a watching brief on this one, given the new manager. Millwall were picked up a couple of wins and a draw recently. They'll be delighted with that, particularly in their league position. That's 7 points out of 9. So they'll be absolutely delighted with that. As well, the scalp of Southampton, which was the beginning of these underdogs starting to take points off sides you wouldn't expect them to take points off. Southampton against Millwall. Gentle reminder that these sides in desperate trouble can put in some very solid performances. So we're waiting on that with interest. Can Millwall continue their excellent run? They must take points off Birmingham. Antwerp looking like they're going to score the first goal, but will it be before half time or after half time? 1 shot on, 4 off and 2 corners, 23 dangerous attacks to 3. Could be before half time. Blackburn and Plymouth, well, got an opening goal for Blackburn. I'll take this one off the watch list. Hull and Leicester is potentially interesting as well. Leicester have that very strong second half scoring attitude, but well, we've got 3 draws for Hull, a couple of them 1-1. Are they gettable? Prior to that, 2 1-2 wins. So are they gettable, this Hull side? It's interesting to see Leicester at only 2.1. Is it because the goal hasn't stood? Because it's not turned up yet. Here. Morecambe against Wrexham. Well, we're just waiting to see which Wrexham turns up, because they are third in the league. They are favourite, but they've just not turned up yet. Cambridge United against Northampton. Got an opening goal for 19th in the league there. And Wycombe and Reading. Again, it's a bottom clash. So you'll be looking... Well, I would be looking at taking on draws in these matches. Stevenage starting brightly against Fleetwood Town. And Salford City 0-1 up against MK Dons, putting in a good performance early doors. Lokomotiv Zagreb, I think job done for them. And it's already 3-1 for Bayern Munich. No surprise there. 1.45 Slovan Liberec. Let's look on that one with interest. Why are they a goal down? 1.7 favourite Slovako. They have had a long winter break. Hradec Kralove making it 1-0 against Pardubice. Bohemians look very strong as well. Do you trust the Czech leagues? That's a goal for Carlisle against Charlton. Watford looking good against Coventry. And we can get rid of the Norwich match. Rotherham are basically down and done. Don't think there's any way back for them. Yeah, so that's Leyton Orient looking good. So we're just picking up matches of interest. So if we're going to pull the trigger. Very quiet from Bournemouth so far. Cagliari 3-2 Salernitana. Should have done the 3-0, shouldn't I? Really. Relegation threatened sides. Right, that's about that at the moment. So no strong trading angles just yet. Mönchengladbach the only one of late. That'll be Lokomotiv Zagreb making it 2-0. Charlton and Cardiff, Accrington and Bradley. Okay, that's interesting. Accrington odds on favourite against Bradford. English League 2. So let's see if I can get the Accrington match up. Accrington against Bradford, because it's an underdog leading 0-2 on or around half time. We're going to have a look at the goals. Accrington and Bradford. Were they goals from open play? It looks as if they were. Looks like Mr. Wright is having a good day. Right. And you see the scamming bookmakers, 1.08. The true odds should be about 1.3 or thereabouts. So that's a potential play there. Accrington against Bradford City. What I do like, those 4 corners. It's very early in the match as well. So let's have a quick look. Accrington against Bradford, not Bradley. But you have to go match odds here. You can't take insurance out, and that's nice and short. Got to be worth the trick, that. That's really good odds. Accrington pre-match odds on favourites at home. And this is down to the Wi-Fi connection going, so excuse me for a sec while I have another bit of the old croissant. So I'm going to be laying Bradford. So early, got to give it a go. There we go, keep that under a tenner. All we really need is a goal early on from Accrington Stanley. And this will get those odds of 34 moving promptly. So let me just get that on Telegram. I think that offers a good bit of value. That it's very early in the match. I just want to make sure I've got it correct. Oh, Control and F. Oh man. Right, let's just check the pre-match odds. Indeed, 1.85. Ah. The 1.85 is leading 0-2. I thought it was evens, Accrington, so my mistake. But it can be salvaged. You can just do this. So I'm glad I checked before passing that one on. If it was the other way round, if it was a 2-0 lead for Accrington, then we'd be interested. I got Just got to cash out of this. There we go. My mistake cost me 99p. You can tell. Odds on favourite are away from home. I thought Accrington were odds on. That would be an underdog leading 0-2. On or around half time, away from home, would be a pretty good angle. We've got an opening goal for the Blades. Now you know as well as I do, this stage of the season, you've got to get that win. Look at the importance of that goal. Probably not going to do much, not going to save them from the bottom three, but it will just take them up within 4 points of Luton Town, who are losing currently. So this is an absolute vital goal for Sheffield United. It's vital that they hold on to it. Bournemouth have been in pretty poor form of late. I was a bit surprised by their short odds. I've got a second message up here. Yeah, very, very upmarket, Bosun. We're posh, us lot, in this neck of the woods. It's quality though, so quality croissant. So let's have a look at the Sheffield United goal as well. Is it a goal from open play? Probably not. Knowing Sheffield United, it will be a set piece goal from a free kick or a corner. So again, I'm running out of space for these because I've got too many on the watch list. So let's get rid of some of these that I don't really need to be watching. I've only got them on the watch list because of their league positions. Now we know now the Accrington Stanley Bradford is not a surprise. English Premier League. Let's have a look. Como red card away at Cremonese, 15th minute. That's 0-0. So that could be a catalyst to end that 0-0. Where's the Premier League? Yeah, I think this is a green light, isn't it? You can see the in-play stats. So many of them today. 3 shots on, 5 off and 2 corners, 23 dangerous attacks to 6. You're going to get this defensive pressure from Sheffield United naturally, but they just seem to be lacking up front. And if you've got the deep dive spreadsheet, you can have a quick look. Anything important in the match? I don't think anything's been mentioned. Just the Crystal Palace match, really. So Bournemouth and Sheffield United. Just got to find some value or keep our liabilities low. Half-time market, of course, is the obvious stopping point with half an hour gone. But I think going my usual route, laying over 1.5 goals, because it's that part of the season where the Blades would love a 1-0. And then +1 would probably be too short, so 1.6. Let me see if I can find Bournemouth before they score. Well, it's far too short, isn't it? 1.32, so you've automatically got to go to the match odds, and hopefully you're going to get over evens for Bournemouth. Well, just about. The only other value I'll show you using simulation mode will be just to have a go in the half-time market. If you're not happy with 2.04, or of course you can delay. Lay over 1.5 goals and then don't place another play. Hopefully it remains 0-1 until at least half time. So If I take you to simulation mode, we can have a look at the half-time markets. Oh, that's the Leicester equaliser. We should have played, shouldn't we? Damn. Oh, I was put off by the market, really, but I should have played. Should have got some excellent, excellent value there today. Right, where was I headed off? We were headed off to Bournemouth, weren't we? It's Bournemouth, Sheffield United. Half-time markets. See if you can dig out some value out of that. You could start by drip laying if you wanted to, or really reduce that liability. Just back Bournemouth, and if they get a 40th minute goal, their odds will move, and you'll have a potential green screen. But that's asking a lot. They need to be scoring quickly for those odds to move. So that might not be an obvious alternative here. How about options? Oh, wrong one. Bets. Dutching back, going to our old pal. Half-time score market. So 1-1. Probably just stick to 2-1. Given the amount of time remaining. So 19's about 2-1. Sounds a little bit short relative to the amount of time left. And then you can see how we're reducing our liability, can't you?
Morecambe Wrexham is 1-1.
Keeping that below 10 quid. So you'll get a break even on the 1-1. Well, you get a profit if they score. And this is a good way for you to have your foot in the game.
Goal. Hull Leicester is 1-1.
With my mixed metaphors. Have your skin in the game without it costing you too much money. So you'll collect if Bournemouth equalise, as they are expected to do. So going the match odds route, a little riskier. So don't forget that you've always got the half-time markets available to you. Delicious. Millwall looking good. Certainly be eyeing that later draw second half. They desperately need the points, don't they? That's why we're eyeing 18th against 20th. So the Bournemouth match. Those are the options I've shown you. You can lay over 1.5 goals and delay and hope this remains 0-1 for a long enough period to give you better odds for backing Bournemouth and better odds for laying Sheffield United. So that's a possible play there. Stoke City 22nd, 3 shots off, 3 corners, looking good. QPR gone a little quiet now and allowed Middlesbrough back into the match. Crystal Palace, I think Luton will be competitive at some point, but you don't know with his new manager, do you? He might just have Luton's number. Millwall, as I say, if this is 0-0 at half time, you'll be looking to lay that draw second half. 18th against 20th, must take points off your near market rival. I think Antwerp did have a goal, and I think the goal has been disallowed. I need confirmation of that because it hasn't shown up here. It's just shown up now. There you go. Hull and Leicester, well, one that I missed really. Should have had a go there. Elsewhere for the watch list. Well, we can look at that second half if it remains 0-0. These are ones you target very late draws this stage of the season because 3 points, of course, is far better than 1. So rather go out dying rather than whimpering with a point. Go out trying to win 3 points. Hradec Kralove already 2-0 up. I think we can say ta-ra to that one. Saints 1-0 so far. Blackburn against Plymouth looks very competitive for both these two. If this is 1-0 late on, given it's 16th against 17th, you might want to look at laying that draw late on. Watford, good start for them against Coventry. 3 shots on 8 off, 3 corners, well deserving of that lead. Similar story for Wycombe. And there's Bradford City making it 3-0, so I'm glad I double checked that. I thought it was an odds on favourite, 0-2 down, but no. 2-0 to Leipzig. Looks like they've had a nice run of it pre-Champions League on this occasion. Darmstadt. Derby against Bristol Rovers, again need for points, and it's 2-0 for the Saints. Again a comfortable afternoon for them against the Black Cats. Derby, desperate need for points, of course, automatic promotion. Ever nearer with an additional 3 points. Portsmouth have been pretty poor away from home goals wise, so I wouldn't be trusting them today. Barnsley looking good, 4th against 10th. Wonder what the pre-match odds were. 2.1 the favourite. Peterborough, normally we see some competition from Peterborough. 4 consecutive wins. Do a lot of their good work second half. 1-0 only in the last 3 matches at half time. They do tend to score second half goals. So we're getting some odds on favourite goals coming in, as you can hear. Stockport looking good against Newport County with 10 minutes to go to half time. For second in the league, Stockport looking to guarantee themselves an automatic promotion spot from English League 2. 4 shots on 4 off 4 corners, looking very good indeed. Can they score before half time? Do you want to try it? See whether they can score before half time. You already know which kind of markets to look at. This is a hint. 10 minutes to go for second in the league to break through. So we'll go half-time markets initially. It's getting nice and short, 1.38. I've just got to keep an eye on these goals coming in. Cadiz have opened up against Atletico Madrid. That's going to be of interest for sure. That's just been confirmed now. I think it is pre-Europa League, pre-Champions League Atletico Madrid. Just got to confirm that. Let's just get Cadiz back up. Only 2 wins, so a bit like FC Köln earlier on. Just gettable on the basis of having only 2 wins all season. But 9 draws in the last 14 is a positive if you're taking on Atletico Madrid. But do remember, this is a pre-Champions League Atletico Madrid. And they're away from home. They have had a couple of defeats prior to Champions League matches. But only 2 defeats in 2024 for them. Draw, loss, draw away recently. Only 1 win away for Atletico against the top 14. They might be vulnerable away. But Cadiz, only 2 wins all season. So in-play stats will play a key role in making sure that this Atletico Madrid side are in the kind of form you'd expect of a side of that stature. But we can't be complacent that just because Cadiz are 18th that they'll lose today. This is pre-Champions League for Atletico Madrid. That's when they're at the most vulnerable, because the manager has to make team changes necessarily just to freshen up the side, and that's going to lose the team dynamic. And that's why you get these errant results on a weekend, because it's not the first 11. You're going to have to rest some of your big names and hope that they turn up second half. But certainly a match of interest, that one. Cadiz, Atletico Madrid. We could, like we did in the Sheffield United Bournemouth match, you could lay that over 1.5 goals now and hope that this Cadiz side keep it a little quiet.
Goal. Cadi Saddle to go Madrid is 1-0.
Right, that's okay. Still 1-0. Cadiz and Atletico Madrid. So don't forget, oh, have I missed it already? Or is it a VAR? I don't know. Have I missed the 1-1? Haven't had the goal come in yet. But I can't do anything. I wanted to get this done, but suspended market. Normally get a red dot if it's a near goal. Blackpool red card at home to top of the league Portsmouth, and a Wigan Leighton Orient red card away at Wigan as well. So we've got a possible couple of red cards to look at second half. No, we don't have a goal. Just hopefully this is a Betfair suspend monkey pressing the wrong button. Samuel Lino. So let's see if any of the big guns are arrested today. Well, Morata, Memphis Depay, Lindsay DePaul, 1970s actress, Koke, Niguez, Lorente, Gabriel, Axel Witsel. Interesting to see him centre back. Corres, Gomes, Riquelme, Savic, Vermeeren. So we're missing some of the big guns. Antoine Griezmann. It could be a convenient ankle injury. They got Alvaro offside Morata playing for them today. If he doesn't go offside, I'll buy everyone a meal of their choice. If he doesn't go offside for the duration of this match. That's how confident I am that we're going to see an offside from Alvaro Morata. So we've laid over 1.5 goals, I hope, if I've got there. No, it's frustratingly suspended. So I don't know the reason for this suspension. If any of you do, let me know. I don't know if there's any team problem. MK Dons 2-1. Laid Bournemouth at the beginning. Have now cashed out for a profit. Well done, Robert. Bournemouth missed a penalty, says Ashley. Auxerre failed to score only once away from home, says Bosun. So sorry I haven't caught up with these. It'd be nice if we can get this chat where I can have it pinned, but I don't know how to get it pinned yet. I can have it pop out, but then I have to make sure it's always at my side like this. So I'm sorry I'm missing your messages. Maybe if I can get an auditory alert to those messages, that would help a lot. So we're coming up to the half times in the Bournemouth and Crystal Palace matches. We've got that 0-1 covered, Sheffield United, and as I say, if you did delay, you're going to see yourself rewarded if you get involved second half, particularly with the match odds market. This is frustrating. I want to see this unsuspended. So let me just get to the Bournemouth match and I'll show you the advantage that you'll have just from delaying. You'll have got yourself some better odds in the match odds market. Well, 0.28 more than I did, and more importantly, got lower odds if you want to lay the blades as well.
Goal. Slogan Liberex MFK Carvina is 1-0.
Okay. So Crystal Palace Luton, question mark. New manager, I don't know. So as we're getting to the half times, well, we can get rid of Slovan Liberec now, which is a pity. Slovako and Jablonek, don't have a strong opinion there, so get rid of that. Bohemians and Mlada Boleslav, well, Bohemians are looking for the win. Frustrating run of draws recently. But they've been scoring 2 goals in those draws. I'll keep an eye on that one. Mönchengladbach, don't forget you can cash out if you wanted to. I'm just hoping for a second Mönchengladbach goal just to confirm a bigger profit for me in the +1 market. Bournemouth, well, It looks all out as if we're going to get an equaliser from Bournemouth. But this is typical of Sheffield United, isn't it? Trying desperately to nick a 0-1. Get a 0-0 at half time. Trying to nick a 90th minute goal to make it 0-1. Desperate need for points. Can Bournemouth do it? Well, 4 shots on 8 off 3 corners, 49 dangerous attacks. They are capable if they can continue on that run. Preston against Stoke. Oh, I've got a pussycat coming in. Don't know how he got in. Well, have a good wander round, mate. Don't worry, it's not your house. But don't leave me a surprise in the bed. Thank you. Preston against Stoke. Well, we're looking at potential lay the draw second half there. QPR. Well, early signs were pretty positive from QPR against Middlesbrough. I'm going to have to shoo this cat away because he's been in my room for a bit too long. So just going to do a round up here. Or if I can get this back. And keep an eye on the Cadiz match as well. See if the market will unsuspend.